Now let me ask you something. Have you ever dreamt of the Wild West? Have you ever dreamt of thriving in the Wild West? Well, unless you can afford Red Dead Redemption 2, I have the solution. Fistful of Frags is a free action indie game on Steam, taking you back to a time where Mexicans were regarded as outlaws by the moonshine-chugging filibusters of the States. Does that sound too familiar? Sorry, let me try again. It will take you back to a time where the American dream was all about gold and shootouts. Sorry, let me try again. A time when robbery, pillaging, and gun duels was the norm. Alright, let me try again. America in the latter half of the 1800s. There we go. The developers of this Half-Life 2 first-person shooter are literally called Fistful of Frags team. Easy enough to remember and hard enough to mistake, I guess. It was released back in 2007 when everyone was enjoying all the free corners of the online Steam market. Team Fortress 2 being one of the most popular games at the time, also released in 2007. But there is one big difference between these two. Team Fortress 2 has a thriving and alive community, still trading ideas and jumping from server to server, still debating whether Pyro is male or female. Meanwhile, Fistful is about as empty as the Arizona desert. Now I'm gonna be honest here, I was kind of thinking about writing a joke, calling it Fistful is about as empty as. I was gonna make a joke about like, oh, Fistful is about as empty as an empty hand. Fistful, empty hand. Something like that, but I didn't have anything, couldn't come up with a joke, so I went with the Arizona desert. You're welcome. Now, I cannot give an exact reason for that, besides the fact that much like Minecraft, Team Fortress have always been able to recover from death, and never really lost its glaring charm. When it comes to Fistful of Frags, well, they never really was among the top games, ever. It never had that die-hard fanbase that Minecraft and Team Fortress 2 had. Might be because of the mechanics being unclear, and sometimes it feels like doing as instructed by the tutorial does not really help due to poor key inputs. It is a slow shooter. Your movement is slow and agility low. Imagine trying to beat Dark Souls 2 at adaptability set at 0. Kind of like that. Navigating feels clunky at best, and climbing on top of things, well, you really can't do that. So how come I decided to talk about this little game now? There's not really a reason besides me randomly discovering it in my Steam list and having a few flashbacks of trying to throw a dynamite and it taking 3 hours to light and throw. Alright, so the gameplay is split up in 3 different categories: single player, multiplayer, and co-op. Besides the 4 different tutorial types that include weapon control, movement, cannon maneuvering, and interactions, weapon tutorial shows you how to use and switch and reload and dual weapon types, as well as use skills like fanning a gun, which is really cool perk that you can equip in-game in place of other perks like jumping twice, knife throw, or gun throw. The movement tutorial shows you how to move back and forth, etc. Jumping is pretty basic shit. All you need to get over the border to America, basically. Cannon maneuver, well, it's just how to operate a cannon. And interaction is, well, just by holding E. Like, you could get all of these things into the same tutorial, so the fact that they split it up feels a little unnecessary, but 2007 was, to be fair, a long time ago, and primitive tutorials were prevalent back then. Along with tutorials, single player provides a few game modes that includes tower defense, offensive attack, push the cart, capture the flag, capture the command post, and zombie survival for some fucking awesome reason. All of these game modes were named by me just now, since in-game they are named after dry one-liners like Not So Lonely in the Forest and Gatling versus the Undead. There are game modes with great variety even in single player, however, they are not very fun, mostly due to the AI being an absolute moron. Friendly AI is 90% of the time either in your way or stepping in your way, and it's not very intelligent in general. It feels like playing laser tag with the autistic class in preschool. I'd rather just play alone at that point. With that said, you can play game modes alone too, and that can be the saving grace in some instances. However, due to slow reload and slow movement, as soon as you run out of ammo, you cannot run away, nor have the time to reload, so you're basically doomed to die pretty quick there as well, removing all the fun of playing the game after 6 shots. Alright, with all that said and done, there are game modes that make it a bit more fair on the solo player, such as when you're trying to hold a bridge while the enemy attacks you one-on-one with relative frequency. It is a good time in between in order for it to require some skill in regard to reloading timing, etc. but it gets boring really fast. The redundancy of these solo player missions are absolutely abhorrent. So solo player in this game is shit by all means, but the game's after all sweet scent points to the multiplayer aspects. So let's investigate that a bit more. Multiplayer, oh yeah. I'd lie if I wasn't surprised by how good this is. The shootouts are absolutely the most satisfying thing ever. Knowing that as soon as all the bullets are fired, you're looking forward to a slow reload makes the shootouts more tactical and cowboy paced. It is hard to explain the cowboy pace, but let's say it has 10 seconds of bullets going everywhere and 10 seconds of hiding behind cover, reloading and peeking once in a while. Getting a kill in this game is so satisfying. Being in an active shooting and missing some shots, hitting others while slowly deteriorating each other's HP is what makes this game fire at times. Even cooler is when you end up running into someone and only a meter in between you start shooting bow at each other, furiously jumping behind cover and looking for openings. And there are those absolute sick moments where you hit every shot 3 times in a row and that feels oof beyond an orgasm. Let me get more into why the gunplay gets so satisfying. The weapons to begin with have a base accuracy. It is shown on the screen by green percentage symbol, shown along with the crosshair. Standing still will increase the percentage of the accuracy you have. For example, it shows 72% of the green meter, which means there is a 72% chance that it will hit the spot you're aiming on, or else it will hit somewhere near it, and so on. I think they missed an opportunity to implement some fun modifiers here. Increase the meter while crouching or decreasing it when you move and aim. At this point, the only time the meter's accuracy is affected is when you either jump or move. If you aim, you retain the same percentage as if you're standing still without aiming at the expense of some movement speed. I believe that there are some modifiers to the accuracy here would have been really good for the gunplay. For example, let's say that standing still and aiming gives you 100% accuracy if you stood still for 2 seconds, which would mean that you would have to risk standing still for 2 seconds in order to get 100% accuracy. So it comes with a risk. However, going from moving to aiming instantly will decrease the meter to 75% accuracy until 2 seconds have passed, and then it will give you 100%. Moving and aiming should lower the accuracy to maybe 70, giving you the ability to move slower at the expense of some accuracy, and crouching and moving should increase it to maybe 80, and crouching and standing still should, instead of waiting 2 seconds, instantly bring it to 100. Alright, I'll stop here. I think I made my boring ass point. What I'm trying to say is that implementing a little more modifiers would increase the player's ability to be tactical and use different strategies. The gunplay overall, though, is really satisfying. However, they should add GTA driving or Family Guy in the corner. That would really improve the gunplay even more. You can use strafing to increase the accuracy more by instantly pressing the movement key in the opposite direction in order to bring the character to an instant stop faster, allowing the percentage meter to grow faster than incels watching anime. The fanning perk is one of the many things you can pick at the start of the match. You can choose a few, like increase accuracy on either the left or the right hand, or when you dual wield. You can also add faster movement and higher jump perk that does, well, what it says. But the fanning perk is pretty chill. Makes you feel like Clint Eastwood's autistic cousin Lint Westwood. Alright, I admit that was pretty bad, I'm sorry. Either way, slow reloads. Damn, it is slow indeed. However, this really makes things more interesting and realistic on top of that. Having to make every shot count is, as described before, a great bonus for this game. Knowing that as soon as you start shooting, it will only take a few seconds and you'll be out of bullets in the gun. And having to go through a slow-ass reload and decreased movement speed at that, and that is what makes this game so special in that department. If you panic and waste all your bullets, well, you're dead. If the other person has one more bullet in the chamber, that is enough to kill you if you have already been hit. And the thing with this game is you probably, when someone wastes 6 bullets on you, you'll probably hit at least once. So taking things slower might save you in the end, but it also might be your end, because the other person takes more accurate shots. I'd suggest you empty as many as you can into that person. It's all about the situation. So this game in general is a one and only flawed masterpiece. Yes, masterpiece. Alright, that might be an exaggeration, but it is for sure one of a kind and has not really been replicated thus far. So congrats to Dev Team and Fistful of Frags Team. I cannot believe they actually call themselves that, but either way, thanks for watching. Leave a like and check out this game if you feel like trying it. It is once again free and could bring hours of fun if you like the Wild West. Thank you so much. Take care. Goodbye.